had to make and present to all the World Bank people who came for a yearly conference to see whether the money was getting used for the right projects. So the first time they came, they gave these ideas, and the following year they came at the same time to see whether it was getting implemented or not. So that was the video we had to shoot to prove that the money has been utilized to do the project we had asked us to do. So, yeah, the crappy documentary is being shown all around USA and wherever World Bank goes. This has happened in a state called Maharashtra. I don't know. The capital is Mumbai, the Bollywood town. I'm sure you must have heard of that. So, yeah, it belongs to the same state where all this is happening.
Capital Maharashtra is Bombay. Capital India is Delhi.
In the right direction, someday it will make a difference. I guess I've bored you guys enough, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. Yeah.
I'm curious, myself being from Oregon, and we have a lot of people from India there in the high-tech business, meaning mainly Intel. What I've seen is now, being practiced here and over here in Australia for 3 years, studying China. China seems to be totally opposite from India in the way of thinking, because in China, the high-tech industry has hit China now. Everybody in rural China wants to go to urban China to be in high-tech industry. And you're saying that in India that's kind of a no-no, and that it has not rubbed off on the economy that way, the high-tech industry in India is the way it has in China?
I won't be able to tell you much about China because I haven't studied it that well, but I will definitely be able to tell you about India. As I said before, to get into the high-tech IT world, you have to be at least educated with a minimum diploma, which most Indians don't have. How I see in bringing the economy up as together for the whole country as such is majority of the population can get themselves employed in the manufacturing or agricultural industries because that doesn't require much education. It's more experience in word of mouth which can get the work done. Unlike the IT software industries where you have to be totally qualified and thinking intellectually to understand the lines of code. Because there are so many of us who can do stuff in the manufacturing and the agricultural industry, I feel if we try and bring that up a little more, that will raise the quality of living, the standard of living a little. So if families can start affording a better lifestyle, they will send their students to school. Because I'm sure as parents you would like your children to do much better than what you have. When you send the students to school, they get educated and their brain thinks much better. And then when you switch over to an IT software company, it makes sense. You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But
hasn't quite everybody gone from farm to high-tech all of a sudden like they've done in China. And it's created quite a problem over there because of that. And so you're saying that's not going to happen in India?
I don't think so, according to me. I may be totally wrong, I totally lost my math. But saying the country so much and interacted with so many people, like from Kashmir to, I think the furthest south I've gone to is Maharashtra. I've traveled a lot, and everywhere I went, it was the same story, narrated to me in a different language. But yeah, so I feel, even though I'm in the same rut, technically, educated, IT professional, trying to make money, trying to get into Microsoft, you know, do an MBA, do business executive, but most of them can't do it. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Yeah.
You said India needs more manufacturing industry to get, create more jobs,
yes.
Right? But most of the manufacturing is in China now, and they already use that advanced compared to India. Do you think India should compete with China, or maybe find something else?
That's where I was trying to get at with innovation and protecting intellectual property. I still remember, I think it was still the 1970s. I'll give you an example of the automobile and car industry. For 30 years, we just made the same cars, like a little difference here and there and stuff like that. But from 1980s, late 1980s, when Maruti and Suzuki and all these Japanese cars started coming in, suddenly India, got their act together and tried to compete with them and push themselves further to better their technology a little. So I feel if that competition is there, it will take the brains and it will push us. We all are very defensive people and very hardworking, like the Chinese. We are known to work very hard because we've been ruled by the British and we hold it against that totally. So if a little thing says, oh, that guy can do it, I can do it too. I'm very competitive myself. If I see another person saying something, and if I feel I can do something more, I'll push myself. Which doesn't happen from every country because I feel other countries, they're more secure. The standard of living is good, so they don't push themselves very much. So what I'm getting at is feeling a little more, become more competitive if China poses that competition. I agree absolutely that they're way ahead of us when it comes to manufacturing. But if India recognizes that there's a threat to their manufacturing industry, get their act together quickly, there's a big scope for them to improve, definitely. But I feel what my country is going through is a confused state. They're going through this turmoil that they don't know whether to stick with their IT companies and take IT as the economy and move ahead, or go back to their basics and build on the basic infrastructure, use technology. That's my aspect. I feel they should use technology, what they have, to better their basic infrastructure. But right now, I feel it's a very confused state of affairs in the economy. So I feel China is doing better with the manufacturing industry, definitely. Yes.
Neha, can you just summarize the state of the Indian economy in one sentence, please? What do you think? Yeah, how would you summarize?
First, to summarize and say the economy of India, that...
What do you think it is then, just for everyone?
I do believe it improves drastically when it comes to things like education. People are more aware. They are sending their girls abroad to study, which never used to happen. The outlook is changing. But I feel that the change is not happening fast enough because we are in a vicious circle and we are trapped with emotions of earning that extra money and getting out of the country, me being one of them. Still want to go back to India for a living, unlike Marcus who would love to go back to my country and work there, but I wouldn't. So it's a total confused state of affairs. I feel it's education I would come back to. If you can mold the child properly, give that standard of living to that individual and say you can do the same things in this country and we will pay you the same amount, there's no way a person would like to leave their own country and go to another country and win dollars. I refuse to digest that fact. So I feel India can do this. It's got good potential. It's got youth as its potential. Unlike China, I feel their employed people are aging faster and Indian youth, there are more number of Indians as young people who can do wonders to the economy and the employment rate can increase, but it's just that getting the act together quickly and directing a stitch in time saves nine, I guess. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Just one comment.
Yeah.
Okay, like everyone knows the Indian economy is growing very fast.
Yeah.
Just would you like give us a few factors of why it's really growing? What are the main aspects?
I told you.
The other thing.
Yeah.
I looked at the video and showing all the benefits of IT, even to the rural communities, and it seems like you're saying Elastic Brown that they should not really be focused on IT. At the same time, on the video, it's showing very good aspects of IT.
Now that's what I'm saying. You have to use technology, embed technology with the manufacturing and the agricultural industry of India. That's exactly what the video showed you. The farmers, the agriculture, the whole industry is using IT. But if now what India is going into a well, it's like being thrown in a well. It's just the software, making software. Microsoft has these, there are states like Bangalore, which, places like Bangalore, which are called the Silicon Valley of the East and stuff like that, who just build software. And the call centers, you pick up your phone, call Telstra, you'll be directed to India, you'll hear an Indian voice. There are so many call centers, so many software producing companies. What I'm trying to say is India is not just IT software. I would be even happy if there were more hardware IT companies because that would give more employment. Towards the end, if you have to hack a computer, you don't have to have a diploma or anything. It's like a carton. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting?
Okay.
I'm just trying to say, use technology to do the basics you've been good at all these years. We've been very good at agriculture. We've been exporting spices, rice, etc. But if you use technology with it, you'll be much better off. But just going and following the bandwagon, US is their IT king, and we can do much better, if not the same, because half of IT stuff happening in US is made up of Indians, and there are Indian brains behind it. And doing the same in your country, which is a developing country, unlike the US, which is a developed one, I think there's a mix of issues there.
So what do we attribute this big growth in GDP to? What's the main cause of the rapid growth in the economy?
It has given jobs, don't get me wrong, call centers and the outsourcing by the multinationals has given lots of jobs in India and has encouraged more people to study IT, because finding a job in an IT sector has become much easier now than what it used to be. It has given jobs, but that's again the point. It's a small little dent in the economy, which is made up of 1.2 billion people. It's just that I watch which people are saying, oh, IT software, wow, the economy is booming, They're going to run like a hare, like how they used to be a tortoise or a tortoise in the Australian accent. Yeah, it's just a mirage. This is exactly what I was getting at, because people feel India is booming because the IT sector is booming and the GDP rate has gone up. I am not denying the fact that the GDP rate has gone up, but it will not survive for long if they don't pick the people below them and work with them, make them work with them. They'll just leave them behind. There'll be a small sector of Indians who will walk the path, become richer, getting richer, who are paying for it. I feel that's why being in the country and seeing it face to face. What the news and the papers bring you is all the good stuff most of the time, because it's all manipulated. But when you're in the country and see it happening, it's a different story.
Okay, I'll give you an example. I come from Kenya. We have very close trading ties with India. I know the pharmaceutical industry is very large in India, and also education. I studied in India. Majority of students from my country, not just Kenya, around the East African countries, studied in India, which I think is also a very big part of the Indian economy, and even the health industry. Just where people go to India to access the good medical treatment.
I'll tell you why they go to India to get their good medical treatment or medical awareness, because India is a land which has so many diseases. I'm a daughter of 2 doctors, and my dad is a senior radiologist, one of the top 4 in the country, and he has a lot of students from all over the globe studying under them. And the basic reason why they come to India is because there are so many diseases in India, and because the states are so varied. We have hills, we have deserts, we have the eastern side with the marshes, so we get diseases of all kinds, tropical, diseases related to the cold. There's so many of us, 1.2 billion, we have to go wrong medically somewhere. Wow. So that's the exposure. Today, frankly, if I fall sick, I would rather trust an Indian doctor to, please don't take this against you, also an Australian doctor, because I know the Indian doctors have faced everything possible and seen the worst of diseases, seen the worst of cases, because people can't have health care. They leave it till the last moment. They're uneducated. They believe by just praying to God they will be well. That's why students come. If they're coming to educate themselves, doing medicine in India, that's great. But how many of them are being to medical schools? My father's taught in medical schools. I've seen one person from Kenya come to study medicine out of a class of 600. That's one of the best universities in India. So the second best university I'm talking about for medicine, AFMC Pune. But it's not going to help. There's too many of us. It's just an out picture which people see, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this. Just get people thinking.
We have a lot of Indian doctors in Australia, not Indian specialists. In Townsville we've got the Indian specialists who are considered amongst the best, and a lot of GPs as well now.